quick Monday morning radar update. So, last day of the month, monthly sticks post tonight. That'll be an interesting one. We've got a gap down this morning. I'll just buzz through these markets quickly. Go too deep. I know I'll cover these in detail in the group. So, transports, deep correction. Industrials correction. S&P. We've been noting these. I've actually, this is the horrible case really in my book. The big channeling, sort of rising channel into previous resistance. This is the better case scenario. These are bear flags. They get tested, whatever, and we're in a correction. 10% correction, it sorts itself out. We all live happily ever after again. As this one here, you get your little bear flag. Oh, that's not very. And then down we come again, and then off we go on our little journey. So, in most markets, I know we had a pretty hard correction in the NASDAQ. We know why, but we haven't really seen anything really. Correction that has 8-9% was a correction back then, so it is the second in the US, but in the UK, when we go into the UK, we've basically not really seen Europe, we've not really seen any sort of pressure on this uptrend so far, and Europe dislocated from the US as it's uncoupled, as it sometimes does. Where the US goes, everyone goes in the end kind of scenario. We just take it one day at a time. If the US wants to go lower, we're coming into normal areas. So FTSE 100, just small sort of normal sort of garden variety pullback off the highs, isn't it? And same with the DAX. 250, you go further down the risk fountain, you start to see the pressure taking the lows out, heading towards 52-week lows. Small caps just down, sideways forever and a day. We've just bounced off the voodoo average, and we're sort of having a bad day today. Well, we're not having a bad day today, but we've got a gap down today. And the AIM all share, it must be. How many weeks now is it since? How many months now is it since it traded a 52-week closing high? 44, 45. It's a long time. We haven't seen. That's what we've been trading through. So, and it hasn't been. It's been grindy, hasn't it? The markets are always grindy. If the markets are fantastically easy, that usually shows a frothy market. But you still, obviously you don't just pull the brakes on because the market feels frothy. You make the most of that kind of market. But it's, what defines us is how we trade grindy markets. And we're definitely in one. This year started off with a fantastic couple of weeks and all-time highs, and then just grindy ever since, hasn't it? FTSE 100 stocks have... it's been good in swing trades because the FTSE 100 stocks have been working fantastic. I've been sort of I do my Monday morning update of orders. I added back to Halion this morning. I can see MTL is just doing fantastic, isn't it? Just quickly skinning the get talking my own book. MTL. Yeah, it doesn't look much better than that, obviously skinning the game, riding this one. It'd be nice for it to bust through this 7 pence and just take out this last sort of, we call this a base with supply. Basically, it's just been consolidating forever and a day, and if it can make a breakthrough here, we can sort of trail a bit more risk out of this one. It's been a pretty good journey because we started on the base cheat down here, didn't we? think it was somewhere down here anyway, in this area here, probably in from about this price, somewhere around there. So we're up over 200% on that one. But yeah, if it keeps going, happy days. You know, we like the ones what turn into the JLPs of this world. You know, what just go on a grinding run. But you know, and as with MTL, you know, JLP could have just gone sideways and then taken another leg up. But no, you know, we compounded the gains and we move forward. PAF's doing well as well this morning, skin in the game again. Obviously, you know, I dropped a few carrots on Twitter recently on the pullback, but in my world, trading within my risk parameters, and you know, plenty of cash from selling a couple of big winners. W7 being one of those, obviously, and yeah, gold living above this 3,000 level is good for gold stocks, isn't it? They start to be sort of, you know, if gold can live above this level, you know, they will start to wake up, won't they, and go, oh, hang on a minute. If it was just a pop through this level and then back we go down, you know, yeah, not so much. But we don't have a crystal ball. We just process is what builds the equity curve. I'll quickly just I'll just jump into the up on day list and let's just have a quick look what's positive. On down days like this, you know, the best thing you can do is run your screens, run your relative strength screens. You know, it's not about finding the stock what's down the most, you know, the old cheeky bounce trade. It's about finding the strongest stocks what are refusing to go down or they're going down the least. So I'll just order this by sector and just quickly fly through this. I've got a couple of ways of running this screen. I'll run the volume leader screen in a minute as well. We just have a quick sneak peek through here. Haleon, you know, it was on my list today to add to this one. I already taken a position and on the pullback, and it rolled over, and then I added it back this morning. I didn't sell it all. I sold half, and then I added that half back this morning with the same risk management. So just feeding on these liquid ones. What's working. But you know, these tend to do good in a bad tape, don't they? And into the volume screens, the volume leaders. While this is updating, I'll just say there's a fantastic offer from ShareScope at the moment. So pop over to tradingbases.co.uk and you will find that offer in the ShareScope page on the home screen. It is 9:23. We should have traded. Put 16% in. Let's just have a quick look through these, see what's up today. AMP sort of, I don't know why it delayed its results and then it put them out a few days later, didn't it? It's what's the point in sending that delay email? But looks pretty good on those forward numbers. Hang on, here we go again. Let's go through here. Yeah, AAZ broke out a few weeks ago, didn't it? Not my preferred gold stock, but got no forward numbers on it, so forward turnover looks kind of down still. The turnover's been dropping off on this stock. You know, again, I know, bang the old drum. This was the earnings growth cycle we traded, compounded it. That money went into different stocks. We didn't sit through this. It went into different stocks. It's about compounding. Investing, trading, it's about compounding the account. You know, different lanes, different time frames. But if you don't compound and you just you know, put your head in the sand, you're not working at that sort of closed balance equity curve. What is the most important equity curve to compound? So yeah, I mean, it's going well off the lows here, but it's not, I like to trade the ones with the most growth, and MTL is up there at the moment, and PAF is. A lot of the other gold stocks, you'll notice they were the leading stocks, and the laggards are kind of turning up now, and AAZ is definitely a laggard in the gold space. Moving on, just fly through these and see what's in these today. Griffin as well, pretty obvious one for us. Doing okay, isn't it? SNX still doing okay there. Wise, yeah. It's steady away, that one, isn't it? It went on such a big run. I always draw a baseline and say expect a base, anything more than a base, expect a. So if you're buying a pullback, targeting the base to get your reward to risk would be a good approach, because it re-rated without offering. We got a little swing day here, and then it went through the results, and to be honest, that was a fantastic entry, wasn't it? For a swing entry, a nimble swing entry. But yeah, now it's just going into that digesting the prior move, but still, pullbacks are good entries, aren't they? Especially in corrections. So I will leave it there. I'll just quickly jump back over to let's have a look at this pullback on Bitcoin. Still in that pullback area. TLT just in this big range. We'll quickly have a look at oil. Yeah, it's teetering on the edge still, isn't it, of this the abyss. It would be better if it just rolled over and went lower. It's popping hard today. I don't know why. Something underlying today by the looks of things. Some news or something. So I will leave it there. I've been doing a lot of work at my site, tradingbases.co.uk. There's lots of free stuff on the homepage there. It's a good time to actually come and visit my site, because the content, there's a huge amount of content in there, and we've got a fantastic group, and we're all grinding it out together at the moment. But last time I checked, good markets follow bad markets, but obviously you have to get to the other side of the bad market. So I'll leave it there.